All right, let's go ahead and kick off on how you can create the best cold email template for 2023 that is spam proof, algorithm proof, and also make sure that you grab your leads' attention. Now, look, what I'm going to show you is not exactly give you a breakdown template, but I'm going to give you the tips and tricks that you need, the formulations that require you to then go ahead and build your own version of this. But don't worry, we will go through every bit and piece and process that is required to create a very strong cold email template that will help you close your deals. And look, this is not something that we've come up with or on the whim. We send out millions of emails on behalf of ourselves and our customers, and we've seen what works and what doesn't. It's just pure data aggregation at this point in time. Now, remember, there's 5 elements or 6 elements rather that go into every cold email, from the fact that you've got the subject line, the introduction, the value proposition, your case studies, as well as your call to offer or call to action. Now, each one of these have a very specific role they play in the journey that a customer or potential lead goes through with respect to the next phase that they go in. If your subject line is poor, guess what? They're not even going to open the email. If you're using spam words, guess what? It's not even going to land in your lead's inbox because it's probably going to end up in the spam folder. So we're going to go through all those pieces. Stick around. It will actually go through 2 examples as well. I know I said I'm going to give you the exact thing, but I'll give you 2 examples and break down why these things work and they have performed well in the past. So you are going to go ahead and formulate your own version of this and use the exact breakdown. This is a science to it. It's not just whims together. It is an actual psychological science. So let's actually jump into this straight away. All right, so let's go through those 5 elements that you are going to control, and then we're also going to go over the other aspects of this particular email. Step 1 is actually getting your subject line to the point. Guess what? You're not meant to write a story over here. Your subject line needs to be less than 5 words, and you need to personalize it. You either need to include their first name, their company name, their niche, or something that is very relevant to what their business is or what they've done. Maybe they've got on the news recently, they've won an award, they've got a new job, all these triggers and facts that you can pick up, but you need to make sure your subject line sticks out, because guess what? An average person receives 186 emails every single day through their spam, promotion, and primary folders. You need to be able to stand out, and the way you can stand out is through 2 main ways. One is obviously a very catchy subject line that is very to the point, pain point focused. Maybe you're talking about something that's top of mind for them. Companies that are losing revenue, you want to help them increase their revenue. Say, hey, first name, losing revenue, question mark. Or just you can go with the classic, hey, first name, question. Hey, first name, thoughts. Hey, first name, weird question. You can test a variety of different versions, and you want to make sure you're A/B testing this, and you can use products like Smartly or anyone else that are out there that help you do A/B testing that will help you figure out what your prospect really cares about. Remember, prior to actually reaching and creating your cold email, you need to do a whole bunch of homework, which is probably the most important part, which is finding leads that are qualified. When I say qualified, these people are known to be able to purchase from you in the past. That means if you look through your entire user base right now, you look through everyone else that you have signed up as a customer in the past, present, or maybe in the previous company you worked at, work out who are the easiest to sell to and who are paying you the most, right? Those are the ones you want to target. You want to get those leads verified, because guess what? Even if you download this from Apollo, LinkedIn, you scrape different tools, etc., you want to make sure those leads are actually reachable, because if those leads are not reachable, you're sending emails that are going to get bounced, and therefore your own email services accounts are going to hit a spam trigger. They're going to go ahead and get a lowered reputation, and then that has a net effect that pretty much make sure that you actually can't even reach out to this person, because your cold email won't even be read because you end up in the spam folder. So you want to make sure the technical parts are 100% taken care of before you actually jump into creating the cold email. When I say technical, I mean the lead research, the filtering, the verification, the bounce recognition, and ensuring that you're actually sending up emails that are warmed up, because you can't just buy a domain and then send it. You want to make sure your domains are warmed up, your email accounts are warmed up prior to sending that. But anyway, we put that aside. Now let's go into the main piece, which is the subject line that we've spoken about. All right, now that we've gone through the subject line piece, what we then need to do is go ahead and look at how we can take that subject line and then post that towards the second piece, which is the relevant personalization. Now, the reason why personalization is important, it holds a few factors, right? Both technical as well as cognitive. Now, when we go on a technical perspective, the reason why it's important is simply because it brings in a layer of variability. If you're sending the same email 1,000 times across to 1,000 people, every email service provider is going to pick up that you're just spamming them, right? Personalization becomes different for every single person, and that offers a layer of variability that technically basically signals to email service providers that maybe this person is sending unique emails for a general point of conversation and communication. They're trying to build connections. That's the whole point of emails, right? So it increases your chance of actually landing in your leads inbox. Now, the second thing is personalization. It acts on the age-old effect of reciprocity. That means this person has done research just about me and wants to reach out just to me, and ensures that this is built just for what I am trying to do myself. Now, look, first lines work really well. A lot of people are doing it. We've got SmartWriter, we've got thousands of people using the product there, and it works extremely well. So you can easily go ahead and do that and try stand out of the crowd and create a very nice first line that again is picked up not by only the engines that help you ensure that you land in the primary inbox, but also when you're just scrolling through your emails, you've got the subject line, but you also got that little preview. That little preview gives you a very nice real estate point that lets you actually add that extra layer of, hey, I'm actually sending this just to you. Maybe you can congratulate them on a new job. They've raised some capital. They've gone and done something in their business. There's news that has shown up about them hiring a new VP of some company XYZ. Those are all things you can take on. Also, you can personalize based upon perhaps the fact that they're using a certain technology and you've got a competitive solution, or you're going to go ahead and target them based upon an industry. You can put on Apollo. You can go set up some filters. Their company spending less than $50 million in revenue. They have 10 employees. You can say, hey, I saw you have 9 staff members, one of them being a sales representative. Are you interested in an automated sales solution platform that will, help you scale? So that's easy ways you can go ahead and personalize that at scale, right? So you want to make sure you got the relevant personalization set up. Now let's go to the second part, which is a problem-solving value proposition. Now this is important. You're not just going to go ahead and say, we help companies increase revenue. That is not the point. That is great if you help companies increase revenue. It needs to be a problem-solving value proposition. Your value proposition is you help people increase revenue. But what is the problem that's actually solving, right? You can say, we help companies increase revenue without increasing fixed costs. Right? That is the problem most people face. And this is where I said that initial research part is important. You need to find out what are the core problems that your lead faces that you can then go ahead and personalize your offer towards, or your value proposition towards. Let's just say you're selling ads as a business to e-commerce agencies. Instead of just saying we've got the best ads in the system, or we've got ads that help increase conversion by 50%, which is great, but that's a very generic point. You increase ads by 50%, hence also you reduce your customer acquisition cost by 50%. That is your value proposition, right? But what is the problem that you're solving for the customer? Not only are you reducing the customer acquisition cost for them, but you're bringing in more sales. Because remember, in the end, the core point, you need to ask the 7 whys, which is a Japanese principle as to figuring out what is the core reason behind which someone does something, right? Is asking the question 7 times, asking why 7 times to figure out what is the emotional reason someone does something. So yes, you're reducing your customer acquisition cost, but what does that actually do? Increase their revenue, ensures that they're profitable, ensures that they can raise a second round of funding. So that is a problem you're solving for them. You're reducing the cost, which is fantastic. That is also a problem. But in the end, the result of reducing the cost is an increase in profits, increase in the ability to grow their business, increase in their ability to go ahead and diversify their risks by investing into other segments of it. And this is the part that you're actually going to do research and find out this is what the lead actually cares about. All right. And this part is important because of the fact that you are not just doing research on your target, but you're doing research on your target's end customer, right? So you are solving for their behalf. And I'll show you in the examples what that actually means. For example, let's just go with the principle that I am going ahead and selling services to e-commerce business where I'm trying to improve their customer acquisition cost, right? Just reduce that. But instead of just saying that, yeah, we'll help you reduce customer acquisition costs, which will help you do this, you can also mention that this will help your end users improve the value proposition that you're solving for them. Let's just say you're trying to, the e-commerce business that you're selling a product for is in the beauty space, right? You can simply go ahead and say that, yeah, this will help your end customers. We can help your end customers achieve your value proposition, right? By reducing your customer acquisition costs, so therefore you can reach out to more of them. By reiterating their value proposition to them that they sell to their customers, you're really showing that you care and you know what you do. And again, we'll go through this very quickly. Now, let's go to the 4th point, which is relevant social proof. Not just random case studies. You can't go ahead and sell to a small business saying that you've got a customer as Coca-Cola or vice versa, because there's no relevance there. Coca-Cola is the big brand and you're selling to a small startup. Makes no relevance at all. Instead, you want to find relevant social proof. Social proof is again one of the core principles of influence. It's just how we are. It's herd mentality. It's human beings. The way we operate is knowing that we don't want to be the first person to actually make a purchase or a decision. We want to know other people are using it. That's why testimonials work. That's why case studies work. That's why reviews really work. You want to make sure you can mention a relevant case study, a relevant social proof point. As an example, let's say you're reaching out to restaurants in a local area. You can go ahead and let them know that we've helped another restaurant in a similar suburb, if not in the same suburb, in a similar suburb, increase foot traffic by 40%. What you've done over here is you've mentioned to them that you can actually help them also increase their foot traffic, which is again very relevant to what they're trying to solve, which is bring in more customers into their business. All right. And then the last point is the CTA, call to action, or the offer value. This is by far the most important part other than everything else in terms of what actually defines your replies. Now, I have actually gone over a bunch of different strategies and ideas you can use to increase your overall click-through rate and your response rate by 20%. And that video is going to be linked somewhere over here in the description below, so you can actually go ahead and look at that. But the point that you're trying to get over here with the CTA is make a simple, soft offer that lets them know and makes it extremely easy for them. By the way, you want to make it extremely easy. They do not want your lead to be thinking. Remember, open-ended questions are fine, but open-ended questions with a simple yes or no is what you're aiming for, which is in the end a closed-ended question. Because an individual, which is the person reaching out to, is getting a cold email out of absolutely nowhere, right? They have no proof of you, no trust of you. They have no idea who you are other than what you've told them. You want to make it extremely easy for them to understand that they can reach back to you and they can go ahead and say, yes, I'm interested. Some of the easy ways that I tend to do it with call to actions is reiterate my value proposition in the call to action. Be like, all right, so if you are interested in increasing revenue without adding new sales professionals, would you be interested in me sending a document over, right? A very permission-based and value reiterated proposition. All I'm going to do is send them another case study or document, which is basically, again, value that I'm adding to them, increasing them with a doc, whatever that might be. They might not even respond to me, but they're going to use that document, keep it, learn from it, and then I'm going to link them through to my product over there. So there's multiple ways you can do this. And again, like I said, the video covers them. All right, now with this being said, let's go over some examples because I'm sure you're waiting for them and see how you can dissect these and go ahead and implement these same things for your own offer. Okay, so you're finally here now. Let's go through this and let's dissect it. Remember, pay attention, rewind this if you want to, because it is going to absolutely help you create your own. So let's just say I've gone over here and I'm trying to go ahead and talk to someone who's in the weight loss space and they're trying to hire a sales rep, and I found them on LinkedIn. You can easily do this using LinkedIn scraping services. You can use TextOwl, which is a service that will help you scrape people searching for a certain role or hiring for a certain role on LinkedIn. So that is my personalized icebreaker, right? Now, my relevant personalization, because it's relevant to what I'm actually going to solve for them. So I notice you're hiring a sales rep on LinkedIn. All right, so everything's going to be garnered around that, because guess what? I've gone ahead and created a service where I can go ahead and help this person not hire a sales rep and instead just use our vetted sales representatives, right? Calling out their problem immediately that they're going to face right now that we solve for. Don't waste 18 hours on unqualified leads. That is knowing that this is a problem that our lead is currently facing. We will give you vetted and experienced reps without the hassle. That is the value that we are solving for them. All right. Now, let's go on to the third point, which is great. We've spoken about the relevant personalization. We've spoken about the problem that they're facing and the value that we give them. Right? And this is a part that I mentioned in the early part of the video, which is basically working with your lead's solution and the value they give to their customer and iterating that. So you can say our reps, which is our sales reps, understand the confidence pain points your customers in the weight loss space, right? Face, right? For example, weight loss face. So your close rates will be high. So you're basically letting them know, you're giving them the confidence that you actually understand, your team understands the problem that they're trying to solve. That means your lead is trying to solve a certain problem for their customer, and you understand that problem that your customer is trying to solve. So you're solving for two problems. One, the problem that they actually are facing right now, which is what your lead is facing, that is what you are solving for. And then second, you also understand the pain point that they are solving for their customer in a particular space. By doing this, you're giving them the confidence that you actually know what you're doing and what you talk about, and you're building something and offering something that is specific to them. Remember, no one likes a generic solution. No one likes that is general. People like paying premium. People like paying for something that is specific to the problem that they are facing. That is why specialists exist. That is why people charge premium for services that are very niche and specific. So let's go through that again one last time. Our reps understand the confidence, which is a pain point perhaps that you know that your lead that you're selling to solves for when they're trying to solve for in their niche, right? For their customers. Confidence pain points your customers in the weight loss space face. So your close rates will be high. You're acknowledging that you understand what you do. And then you're ending that with a relevant social proof point, saying company A, which is probably a competitor, saying company A added 400K in annual recurring revenue the past year after working with us. The last one that I've gone with over here is simply a permission-based call to offer, a call to action saying, can I send a doc showing you our entire process? Now, the reason why this may work well is simply because you're going to go ahead and send them a document that is, again, value-based, high intent, and is going to show something meaty. You're walking them through the exact process. And guess what? There's two things that are going to happen over here. Your lead is going to realize that they do not know something that you clearly know, which puts you in a point of authority. Because if you know more simply through a document, they're going to be interested in jumping a call with you. And then all you're going to do is be like, yep, look, this is a process. We've got a lot more that comes through and you can easily go ahead and work with us. And the reason why this also works is simply because if they're not going to convert now, they don't have money, they don't have anything, you don't need to just get rid of them. Instead, because you can add and send them a document, you can use that to capture their email address, to go ahead and through an opt-in process. You can go ahead and upsell them on other products that you have. You can do multiple things by sending them a secondary document instead of sending it in the first time through. Now let's also look at a second email over here that will walk through another process of this entire system. Now, here's another angle that I'm taking. The previous angle, like I mentioned, is you're going ahead and talking about your own problem that you're solving for that particular lead, followed by the followed by the fact that your value proposition is there, and then what you're solving for your lead's customer, as well as how you're actually the value proposition that your lead is providing. Now over here, we're going to go ahead and take an example of Smart Lead, which is our cold emailing software, and that helps people send a lot of emails at scale without having particular issues around deliverability or managing multiple inboxes. So notice you're hiring for a new sales rep on LinkedIn. Again, value proposition. Then you're calling out the problem that they usually face. Reps waste time prospecting leads, validating emails, and managing hundreds of replies. These are all problems that anyone who has a sales rep would face. And why are they hiring a sales rep? They're hiring a sales rep because they probably can't handle the existing team that they've got, and they need more people to help them manage a system or just horizontally scale, right? You're saying, yep, all these things are problems that you face. Guess what? We resolve for it. Value proposition straight away. And then you're going, this is almost like a BAB, before after bridge solution, which is instead of adding overheads, that means I know you're hiring people. Instead of adding overheads, we'll double your sales team's efficiency at no extra cost. That means don't do anything. I know you're hiring for someone. I know you're going through all these problems, and we solve for this automatically. We will resolve all of this for you at no extra cost. And that is factually correct, because guess what? They're probably going ahead and spending a bunch of money right now, and our solution is a lot cheaper and more efficient. And that's just how our product works. And then again, social proof relevant, right? Added 200K in ARR just with one rep. So you're showing to them that, guess what? You might have one rep, 3 or 4 reps, but don't worry. Using our software, someone else, which is in your own space, has added $200 extra $1,000 with just one rep that they already have using our software, right? And then small or soft call to action. Would you be open to a demo on how Smart Leap can help you with the same? That means we're going to help you achieve the same over here. So there you go. Hopefully that makes sense. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe for a lot of content similar to this that will help you scale your business, add whole new revenue, and increase your outbound performance. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will be more than happy to answer them. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.